Now we will define the edge sizing on the domain edges. So to insert the edge sizing, right click on the mesh, and as we did for the face meshing, now in this time we will insert the sizing. And then from the geometry selection, choose the edge selection tool, and then we will select the edges where we want to set the edge sizing or number of divisions. So first thing is that let's say for the airfoil, so we will choose the airfoil. There are two edges on the upper side and the lower side of airfoil, and then corresponding edges on the domain, which is on the outer side. So these are two corresponding edges. As you can see here, that we are going to select the two edges of the airfoil here, and then two edges on the domain which are corresponding to the airfoil edges. So we will set the edge sizing. So for the airfoil, the number of divisions are the 100, and they are uniform. So we have no biasing or the sizing on the one side or the other side. So they are uniform, and they are uniform on the all four edges, two edges of the airfoil and two edges of the domain. And then we will have the edge sizing on the edge here, which is at the outlet, and corresponding second, third, fourth, and fifth edge. So they are, because they are parallel edges and they are making a C type of meshing, or the C type of shape in the meshing. So here we have set the number of nodes equal to 60, and change the behavior to the hard. So hard will impose that the sizing and the whatever growth rate and the biasing we are setting, this will be implemented forcefully. So the bias growth rate is 1.15, and the reverse bias on the two edges, where you see that instead of the edge sizing or the grading should be towards the airfoil, if they are on the opposite side, so we have to reverse the bias on those edges only. And then in the third category, we have the sizing on the three edges which are on the downstream of the airfoil, these three parallel edges, 1, 2, and the 3. And here the number of nodes are the 60, but the bias growth rate is the 1.01, and the reverse bias on the one edge, because again it's not matching the biasing on the two edges. So first we will start with the airfoil, and right click here and insert the sizing, and select the edge sizing tool from here, so that we can only select the edges. Now select the edges of the airfoil. You can suppress the line bodies here. Now we can select the two edges of airfoil and then two edges on the domain, and change the type to the number of divisions, and set the number of divisions is equal to 100. You can check the option behavior to the hard if you want, but this will be only effective when you are going to define the grading of the mesh on the one side of the edge. So if you zoom the geometry, you will see that we have the 100 edges, the 100 divisions on the edge, like here. And if you want to generate the mesh, this will show you the rough mesh, but it will give you the hexa meshing, proper hexa meshing on the airfoil. But still we want to set the edge sizing on these edges. So second edge sizing I will insert is for the 5 edges, and I will select the edges 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5. And here number of divisions are equal to the 60, and the behavior is hard. And other options here are the hard, and the bias type is you can see the picture of the biasing, which is that the on the one side we have the very small sizing, and on the other side, which is on the left side, will be the bigger sizes. So we will select them accordingly to the picture is given in the slide. So we have the bias like this one, and after that select the bias option as a smooth transition and the bias growth rate as a 1.15. Also set the reverse bias. So we have the smooth transition, and the biasing is the 1.15. Because I selected or set these after many iterations, so that's why just use them. Otherwise you have to maybe you have to try the many sizing and the parameters to arrive this type of the meshing. So you can learn, and you can try different options to see that the which options are working or not. And then in the reverse biasing, I will select this edge because on the this side we have the bigger size, and on the other side we don't need the bigger size, smaller sizes, we have the smaller sizes. So I want to reverse the biasing of this edge, and as well as the biasing of this edge on the just near to the airfoil, but on the downward side. So select this edge and this edge. So biasing has been reversed. Now you can again generate the mesh to see that what is happening with the mesh. Now it's working very perfectly, and mesh is graded towards the airfoil where we have the boundary layer development, and so we can resolve properly the boundary layer on the airfoil surface and the downstream side where we have the wake region. So we have the very fine mesh now in the wake region, so we can resolve it. Now the last thing is to set the sizing on the three edges on the downstream side of the airfoil. So here again the nodes are 60, but the bias node is a 1.15. So again I will insert the edge sizing. Right click and insert sizing. These three edges are 60. And we have the bias like this one, and smooth transition, and the ratio is 1.15. So as you can see here that the only one edge is graded towards the airfoil side, so and the two edges are graded towards the downstream and at the outlet. So it means that the method we should change. So we should be changing the method to the reverse option of this option, which is grading towards on the one edge. So you select the grading which is on the left side smaller cells, and on the right side there should be the larger cells. So this will just reverse the sizing on the edges. So only one edge needs to be set as the reverse bias. So select this edge and apply, and then again click on the generate or update. So the mesh is same as we shown you in the very first slide or the title slide, and it's a very similar. It's not similar, but the exactly same mesh. So you can zoom the view and you can check that the mesh is very fine. And if you want, you can also grade the mesh on the airfoil so that you can have the same size on the upstream and downstream of the airfoil at the trailing edge. Or you can change the sizing on the edge sizing 3 to the maybe 1.1, and you can try if the sizes are matching, then it's fine. Otherwise you have to again change the sizes. So now this time the sizes are matching on the aerofoil surface and the downstream of the aerofoil. So this is very much fine.